Assalamualaikum. I am from Group 10 and my group member is me, Muhammad Zaid bin Kasbudi. Secondly is Muhammad Amirul Izwan bin Ibrahim. Third, Muhammad Ammar bin Izamli. Fourthly is Hani Safwan bin Muhammad Ishaq. And lastly is Muhammad Ashrif bin Halim. So, in this project, we make a blogspot and uh, op- we put open system interaction, which is OSI model. So in OSI model we have a 7 layer. And what is OSI model? OSI model is 7 layer that computer use to communicate over a network. So for the first layer in OSI model is physical layer. Physical layer is used to describe the mechanical, electrical function and protocol means to active and maintain and deactive physical connection for bits transmission to inform a network device. And secondly is data layer, to describe method for exchanging data frame between device over a common media. This is the data link layer standard for in data layer: IEEE, ITU, ISO, NSI. And the third layer is network layer. The network layer provides services to exchange the individual piece of data over the network between identified and end device. It describes protocol that address and route message through an internetwork. And fourth is network layer, the transport layer. The transport layer defines service to segment, transfer and reassemble the data for individual communication between the end device. It describes general service and function that provide order and reliable delivery of the data between source and destination host, and implement TCP and UDP protocol. And 5 is section layer. The section layer provides services to the presentation layer to organize its dialogue and to manage data exchange. Number 6 is presentation layer. The presentation layer provides for common representation of the data transfer between application layer service. And lastly, 7, application layer. The application layer contains protocol used for process-to-process communication. The protocol specify the format and protocol information necessary for common internet function. And in this project, we also need to calculate subnetting. We need to make a subnetting for calculation for subnetting. In this section, I will explain and show how to calculate and how to identify IP address that we need to assign for the online learning system server based on information given in the scenario. So the scenario is in the term of private and addressing scheme. Common College campus network is used class C private addressing scheme, which is 12.168.0.0/16. In college facilities, there are 30 different departments. Hence, the network address was segregated by the using subnetting concept. Each department is given their network address in this case. So IT center is being assigned as 11 available subnet as the network address. For this network address, the online learning system service server is assigned as the third available address. Use the information to identify the address of the online learning system services. So for Coburn College campus, we use a class C private addressing scheme, which is 162.168.0.0/16, and we need to make a subnetting for available for 30 department. So to have a 30 department subnet address, we must find nearest number which is not large and less from the requirement. In this case, we calculate 32 because it's more suitable. This is the explanation. As you can see that we must use 32 because it's nearest number with the 30. We cannot take 16 because it's not fulfilled with the requirement. Then we only will use 30 subnet and the rest 2 of it can be used in the future. We use 5 bit need to borrow from the host. So the number will be the new subnet will be 255.255.248.0. This is the new mask for new addressing. We will get 248 after we sum of all of the total from this 5 bit number. This is the table this is the subnet that we have calculate for the 32 available network address, and we only use 11 available subnet, and the third available address we will use for online learning system server. So we will start with first IP for online learning system, which is 192.168.80.4. We cannot use 162.168.180.1 because it will use for router. And this is for subnetting calculation part. So I will go to the TCP IP setting manual. In this section, I will show how to proceed manually on how to configuration the IP address on the server. So the first step is you must go to the search button and type control panel and click to open it. So as you can see in this picture, click start button and search for control panel. After opening the control panel, there are a list of the menus that will appear. Go to the network and internet and click it. After open the network and internet, two menus will appear, that is network and sharing center and network option. You must click on network sharing center menu like this, and after that open network and sharing center. Your list of network connection will appear. It's up to you whether you are using Wi-Fi or internet. In this example, I'm using Wi-Fi connection using hotspot from my phone. Go to net connection and click on Wi-Fi. A pop-up box Wi-Fi status will appear. Then click on properties button. A Wi-Fi properties pop-up box will appear. In this activity, we went to configure an IP address, so we will click on Internet Protocol Service 4 version 4. Click here, and after that Network Protocol Service version 4, TCP IP version 4 properties will be open. There is where we will configure the IP address. Usually we use the HTTP server and IP address to obtain automatically IP address. So in this section, we must click on using the following IP address. Today we put an IP address for online learning system server that we are already calculate before this. The IP address is 162.168.80.4. The subnet mask will be automatically filled in according to the IP address, which is IP address is class C, so the subnetting will be 255.255.255.0. Default gateway acts as the intermediary between the local network and worldwide. So, and the host address usually will be same with the IP address but different network in 4 octet, and that number will always be 1. So the default gateway is 162.168.80.1, and for the DNS server generally we will use the same address as default gateway, which is 162.168.80.1. For the alternate DNS server we will use Google DNS server, which is 8.8.8.8. After complete fill in the requirement information, click valid setting, then exit, then click OK. Click OK button in the Wi-Fi properties pop-up box. After that, the Windows Network Diagnose pop-up box will appear to check if there is any problem with the new configuration of IP address. If there is no problem, you can click the close button. Lastly, you can test the network configuration connection. If you can connect to the network, that means the configuration of IP address is successfully. I think that is all from our group. Thank you.